I've been working with WordPress since 2007, and I'm self-taught. So I'm the kind of person who didn't even know what a URL or an FTP was when I first started out. And I experimented, and it's all still a bit surreal that I work for Automatic now, and I help other people with their stores. So never stop learning, that's all I'll say. I started in support, so if you've ever filed a ticket with WooCommerce, I probably might have waited on you. But today I lead the charge for all of our documentation, and I love it, and I hope that it's been useful to you, and if not, you can tell me about it afterwards, and I will take your feedback and I will improve what we have. So the digital nomad part was experimental as well. I started out thinking that I would only do it for a year, and I've been doing it now for 3.5 years. What that means to me is that I have no home base. I am homeless. Everything that I own fits in this carry-on and one suitcase in the car right now. I moved from driven by things like this that I do for the community where I speak. And the reason I'm here is what Joe mentioned in the opening remarks. Joe was sitting at a table by himself at WordCamp US, and I thought, oh, I'm going to go talk to him. And we had gotten a conversation. He was excited to learn that I work for WooCommerce, and he's like, oh, so you're going to bring us all the swag, and you're going to speak, and you're going to, and his, this WordCamp hadn't even been announced yet, and I was like, calm down there, Joe. No, that doesn't mean I can do that. I don't work for events. I just work for the WooCommerce team. You're going to have to apply through all the normal channels and then do a call for speakers. And he's like, oh, and you know what I mean? And I felt sort of bad because it was like, oh no, I've like crashed his dreams here. And then I submitted through, when I found out that I was going to, my team meetup is in Philadelphia next week. And I'm driving toward my meetup at this moment in my Mustang, which is really fun for me. And I thought, oh, well, you know what? It kind of corresponds to California, so I'm gonna stop in. And I applied to speak just like everybody else. And within about 5 minutes, Joe pinged me. He's like, is that really you, or is that somebody pretending to be you? Because you said you couldn't come. And I told him it was really me, and I told him he should feel free to reject me if he wants to take revenge on me, or if the talk doesn't fit. So now here I am. And I also want to tell you why I'm speaking, because I think it's really important to acknowledge this. I'm deathly afraid of speaking in front of other people. But I've been to tech conferences where it's been all men. And I wanted to see women and people of color represented. And so instead of complaining about it, I decided to get on stage myself. And so now here I am. And I'm hoping that other people will see me and they will dare themselves to get on stage too, because it has been the most frightening but also life-changing thing that I've done in the last years, and I've met so many amazing people because of it. So please give it a try. I'm sure all of you in this room have something to share with other people. You just don't know it yet. So these are all the places that I've been since 2015, except for Japan. Japan is a trip that is upcoming in October. I will spend a month and a half there. So that just gives you a visual idea of where I've been. And this is what most people don't ask me how I am. They ask me where I am. So I'm kind of used to that now. That's fine. You don't care about me? I see. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. This is going to be a primer on WooCommerce. So if you already have a store, I'm going to show you other ways to make money with it. If you don't have a store yet, maybe you should start one. And we're going to briefly talk about payment gateways and security, because those are two very important things. But there are other people on this very same track in this room who will talk to you about those things in general. I mean, in depth. I'm just going to cover them briefly because I'm going to demo WooCommerce. I'm going to show you, if you don't have a store already, I'm going to show you that how easy it is to set up in a few minutes. I'm going to start with a blank WordPress site and add WooCommerce just like anyone in this room would. So why would you want to start a store? There are a lot of reasons why. First, as you may have heard in the news, there's a lot of physical stores closing. It's not because they're out of business, and it's not because they're not making sales. It's because no one wants to go to that store anymore, not even clothing stores. You would think that people would want to go to the clothing store and try on things. No. They buy online through their device, either their phone or their iPad, or their laptop, and they have everything sent to them. The other thing that's booming that someone else will talk about today is subscriptions. Subscriptions is a growing market where you buy a product, say your like shampoo or your favorite hair oil or something like that, and you have it delivered to you on a monthly basis because that's how often you need it. And sometimes you can't find it in the store, so it's really convenient to just get it in the mail. The other thing that's a myth is that you need to be big like Amazon to be successful, and that is not true. You can specialize in one thing or one vertical, like a North Face does, like outdoor clothing, and you can be very successful. I was searching for, I was in Stockholm at the time, and the ground was frozen, and I was looking for spikes or chains that you can put on your feet, and I found Yak's tracks, and that's all they do, is spikes and chains for your feet. Now, they don't only sell online, they're placed at REI and other outdoor places, but that is all they do, and they're very good at it. So, and then the other thing too is content is something that you can create to drive traffic to your store. You have an identity, you have a voice, you can use it, you can display your personality online, and you can attract people and sales to your store, all from your home. So like I said, today we're going to talk about these two things. How many people already have a WooCommerce store? Okay. And how many people maybe want to start one? Oh, this is so exciting. So before we get into that, I want to just talk briefly about how to choose a payment method. You will get my slides, by the way, and all of the links. So you don't have to remember all these things, necessarily take notes. But I want to mention these two things briefly because getting paid and security are pretty basic things of your site that you need to have. A lot of times when you choose a payment gateway, it depends on a lot of things. So all those things on the list. And then it's up to you about what your business is. What do you intend volume to be? Who are your customers? Do you want a free gateway, or do you want to pay for a gateway? What are the transaction fees that are associated with it? Is it scalable? So if you start small, maybe the transaction fees should be small, and then as you get bigger, maybe they'll increase by like a percentage. How many gateways do you need on your store? I always recommend that you have at least 2, because if one fails, then someone can still check out. And then if you're going to sell subscriptions, then you want to make sure that you have support for recurring payments. Not all gateways have that. And then it also depends on what kind of business. If you have a physical store, maybe that will be a factor when deciding. Security. Though the one thing that I want to impress upon you with security is, oh, wait a minute. I just want to mention, in this same room, John, who was standing here just a few minutes ago, he's going to talk about payment gateways in depth. I believe that's after lunch he's doing it. And then, okay, so back to security. So security, SSL. You've probably heard of that before. You need an SSL certificate. And it's even easier these days to get one because you don't even need to pay for one. You can get a free one with Let's Encrypt. And what that does in general is the security helps to protect the sensitive data that's being transmitted between your site and the site that is processing the payment, so no one comes in and steals that information. And when people shop on your site, they want to know that you're protected, so they are protected, and they can trust you, and they feel safe to buy from you. And that's the general idea of security. Like I said, I will include links, and there's resources at the end, and you can just look at my slides and look at all the different links and read for yourself. You don't need to remember all of this. But I wanted to mention these two things because they're important. Okay, so it's workshop time. So we're going to go through and set up a store, and I'm going to show you how it's done, and you're going to, if you want to do it now, or you can also do it later. But I'm going to do it live in front of you, just to show you that it can be very user-friendly. And then after that, for people who already have a store, I'm going to talk about subscriptions, and I'm going to talk about bookings. And these are two ways that you can add to an existing store, and you don't have to necessarily change anything about your existing store. It's just about offering more. So does anyone have any questions at this moment before we go on? Or are you going to just like save them till all to the end? Okay. Yep.
To put the microphone down, you can if you have to.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
Yeah. Aim it towards yourself, though. Okay. Pick up some. Thanks.
Okay, so this is I'm loud, so I guess that works in my favor, I guess. The bad thing is that it's not, hold on. Okay. I'll tell you what I'm looking for. Maybe I need to go back and adjust these preferences again. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm accessing my password manager, and I need to do this because at Automatic we have a lot of passwords, and okay, so this is a blank site. I'm just going to log in. This is a WordPress site. So you can see it's blank. It's not? Okay. Let's go back. Thanks for telling me, because that would have been bad. Hold on. Nope. Is it there now? Yeah. Okay. All right. It's not ideal though, because I still can't see the whole thing, but. So anyway, it's a. I know, I was going to say, how come I can't see the whole thing?
Yeah, there you go.
The beauty of live demo.
Looks about right.
Yeah. Let's see what it looks like in the back end. Well, that's somewhat better now. Okay. At least it's not just icons. Yeah, because I don't expect you to know all the icons, because actually I don't even work that way. So, okay, so this is a blank site, and we're gonna set up WooCommerce now from the beginning. We are currently not using Gutenberg. Gutenberg is going to be part of the next release, 3.6, that is coming in a couple of weeks. But as of this moment, this is still the WordPress as we know it. So we're going to add new. We're going to install it. Activate. Okay. So, the thing that was supposed to happen didn't. Oh.
Because you laughed.
Yeah, it's because doing a live demo was fun. Okay, so normally what would happen, and I don't know, maybe it's detected that this site has been used before, maybe that's why it didn't come up, but what normally happens after you install is that the setup wizard launches. Oh, I see. It remembers that I did this before. So this is why it's showing Indonesia, because the last time I did it was in Jakarta. All right, so we're in the United States. We're just going to make up a place. Well, not totally make up, but I mean, it's based somewhat on truth. And it's going to prompt you for all the necessary details to set up your store. There are a lot of currencies, and there's a lot of options here, but the location will determine a lot of other things that will happen in your store. And then if you want to sell physical and digital products, even if you don't know which one, I mean, if you know that you're an all digital store, you can go ahead and select that. But I think that most people might choose both, just in case it changes over time. And then what we were talking about earlier, payment gateways. There are a couple of different payment gateways that come free with WooCommerce, and you can, you can add others. You don't need to use these. You can also change your mind. You're not committed to making these decisions and then you're locked in, you can deactivate these payment gateways at any time, or you can install other ones that you prefer or that you find that are most suited for you. So let's just, I'm going to go ahead and take both of these. And then offline payments, some people I don't know if anyone takes checks anymore, but other people, especially if they deliver products like food or something like that, they might want to accept cash on delivery, or if you're dealing with other things like big transfers, you might want to go ahead and allow bank transfers as well. So I'm going to continue. Shipping. Usually, again, I'm not really sure why, but it would normally show me different shipping options. We have a lot of different options that you can choose from. The normal ones, such as like FedEx, the U.S. Post Office, other things like that. We also have a WooCommerce services that's offered through Jetpack, but not everybody wants to install Jetpack. So, and then you want to choose the weight and dimensions, the units for these. I'm going to continue. Most people, when they think about marketing their products or keeping in touch with customers, might want to use MailChimp in order to create like a newsletter. And then automated taxes, something that's also offered through Jetpack. I'm going to untick this actually because okay, so the basic store now is set up. So that only took a few minutes, ignoring the fact that I was talking. And we had some issues at the beginning. And now you're basically ready to start setting up your store. If you have an existing store that you want to port over to WooCommerce, you can put that on a CSV file in a certain format and then just import them all at the same time. Or if this is your first time creating a store, which for many of you it will be, you can just go right to creating a product if you want to go there. Or maybe you want to go to the dashboard and just explore and look around. That's totally fine too. We have documentation, which I've written, that can help you. And in a couple of weeks with the launch, our videos will be back online. They haven't been online for the last year, but they're being updated at this moment, and a lot of people like to have video because it helps them visually to walk through the steps. Not everybody loves written documentation. Everybody learns differently, so those are going to be back available to everybody. So you can go to Getting Started, which is a doc, and this link, I believe, is not viable at this moment. I believe it goes back to docs. It does, okay. So you can go to the docs to Getting Started and take a look at what you might want to do first. Or you can just go to the dashboard and have a look around. Again, everybody learns differently. I like to go around and explore the dashboard and just see what's there. Everything should be blank because we just set it up. Most of your settings for WooCommerce will be under WooCommerce settings. And I believe there's a There's a whole page with that. It walks you through all of it. Some of these things you've already done already with the setup wizard, that it goes ahead and puts you through some of these decisions already, and so they're already going to be inserted for you. There shouldn't be any orders yet because it's brand new. Does anyone have any questions at this moment? No?
Can you show how to put a product in?
Sure. So down here is products, add new. And you'll see if you've used WordPress before, the screen looks very familiar, doesn't it? We also have documentation on that as well, in case. Set up products. But if you let's just go to the screen here and just take a look. Okay, so the product name, let's just say we want to set up, I don't know.
A WordCamp t-shirt.
Yeah, why not? We don't have any categories set up yet, but we can set one up. And then this place that you would normally write like a post is the description. And then down here is all the product data. So if this is going to be like a t-shirt that comes in different sizes and different colors, it would not be a simple product. It would be a variable product. And that is a separate page of documentation here.
What do you consider a variable product?
A variable product is something that has...
Large, extra large.
Yeah, exactly. Green, blue, yellow, small, medium, large. If it's just like I don't know, like a sticker, you only have one, it would be a simple product.
Is that the same for digital products too, or just physical goods?
I'm trying to think of what would be a variable digital product.
It could be customized with digital files that you're
Well,
building.
yeah, right.
I think normally when you set up files, if they're different, they should be separate products. That way you can track how many you've sold of each a lot easier. Not only that, but I think that if you have something, even if it's a variation, and I'm gonna give you an example because this came to me when I was in Madrid, and this woman, she had a store that she was building for a fashion designer who only designed bikinis, and so in her mind they were all bikinis. And so that was just a variable product. And I was thinking, well, no, because there's triangle tops and there's bandeaus and then there's different bottoms. But not only that, but because this was a visual product, I thought it would be better if she showed her entire catalog. So it was fine to to make a product that was, it was still a variable product, but it was only variations in size. They were not variations in colors or types of tops or anything like that. And so that way, when people looked at her catalog, they could see like all the beautiful designs that she had. And so if if they were just files, if they were just digital files, I mean, I'm not really sure. I think it would depend on what kind of files they were. You may want to, it could be a variable product. Maybe you have different tiers or something, but if you wanted to show off to your customers how many different things that you had, it'd probably be better if you made them all different. Because if they have to dig for whether you have it or not, I think that might lead to a lost sale. And you don't want to lose somebody if you have it. So let's just say, so let's say you have, I don't know, 10. You have back orders? No, because if you only have 10 and you're not going to order anymore, then you don't want back orders. Low stock threshold. Do you want to be alerted when there's low stock? Well, if they're going to sell out and you're not going to reorder, then probably no. And then this is where your product dimensions come in. You need to enter a weight and also dimensions, because this will help calculate shipping. So I don't know how much a t-shirt would weigh, but I don't know, it's 6 ounces. And I don't know if we need to put this in, but I'm just going to put it in anyway. Oh. Length.
Would you put in the dimensions of the item or the shipping container that you would put?
The shipping gateway will automatically calculate what it is. This is the reason why, like with a t-shirt, because it can be folded up. I'm not really sure if this is. But to answer your question, the shipping gateway will automatically calculate, based on the weight and the dimensions of things, what the best box or envelope might be. And then it will return it. And then I believe that if there are different options, it does give the customer different options to choose from and what that will cost. We don't have any shipping classes set up at this moment. Okay, well.
It needs to be refreshed.
Yeah.
I probably gotta save it first.
Yeah.
Yeah, the attributes that you were doing, those are just things that are special about this product.
The attributes contribute to the variations. This is, I guess, the reason. Like, I usually don't like to get into variable products especially when we're doing it for the first time, because it can become confusing at first. It's actually, I like to start with simple products first.
Or do it. Listen to product.
Yeah. I think a lot of women So, okay, let's go back to simple product. So, so the regular price would be, I don't know, 15.
Free if you're 10.
Sale price 12. You don't have to enter a sale price if you don't want to, but you do need to enter a price for the object if it is not free. So. And then under advanced, you can add some notes, or you can also enable reviews for the product. I'm not going to enable reviews because, well. And then these are the basic things that we just went through. You're almost ready to publish it, and what's missing is a product image. So a product image is over here. We're not going to sell coffee, so. Oops, sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh gosh, this wild live demo is hard. So we're just gonna. I'm just gonna do this really quick because we're not. This is just an example, but you obviously want to take your own photos and oh no. If you had an object or an item that you're selling that had different views, say front and back and sides, and you wanted to show it off, like jewelry or something like that, you might want to create a gallery down here. And then it gives you the option to upload a lot of images, and then the person, whoever is looking at the product, can scroll through them. I'm not gonna, let's see, tags, well, I might just put t-shirts and black. And I think we're ready to publish the product. I don't see anything else that is basic that we haven't covered. This short description is optional. It could help search if you wanted to put in something there, but usually your product description up here is just fine. So let's publish. And now the shirt is there. If you wanted to see a site that's a little bit more populated, well, I guess I can't now because I'd have to exit again. But I have a store that is my test site over here. At some point, I'm going to have to log out and I can show you.
Do you have a separate browser?
The thing is I because of the passport manager is hidden again, I would need to get out of it, out of this view again, like I did before, and then subject you all to, you know, that again. Not a big deal, but I'm just warning you. So technically you're ready to, after you set up your shipping and your payment gateway, you're ready to sell. Let's go back here. There aren't any payment gateway, well there's a PayPal, and okay, so it's not set up at this moment because I would need to sign up for an account. But the basics of starting to sell would be the payment gateway, your security, your products, and then your shipping. And the shipping tab is here. And we need to get rid of this one because it's not Indonesia.
Can you talk about WooCommerce integrating with shipping services such as USPS and UPS?
Sure. So we have a USPS shipping method here. And you would need to purchase this and install it on your site. I can show you, I think I can download one and show you.
And then also we should move to questions because we need to wrap it up here.
Oh, we do? Oh my gosh. Time goes so quick, doesn't it? Okay, so I didn't even get to show you anything with subscriptions or anything, but I hope that someone else is going to do a subscriptions talk today. It is, who is it? It's, is it Amit, I believe? He's going to show you how to build a subscription business. But what I wanted to show you really quick, if you had a If you already had a WooCommerce store, for those people who are in this room who already have a WooCommerce store, you can do things like install subscriptions and then have people subscribe to that product on a monthly basis or a weekly basis or whatever it is. And that can generate recurring sales for you. They're already pre-authorized through the payment gateway. So you wouldn't need to invoice them every month or every year. It would just automatically take the money, and then you would need to deliver their products on whatever interval they selected.
How did you make that happen? What's that?
Sorry, which one?
The subscribe, it's a, what's it say? Plugin? What?
It's a plugin. I'd hope to. Yes. Let me show you. I have the links and everything in the resources that I'll give you in my slides, but it is a plugin that you would buy separately, and it is managed by a really great team, Prospress, and you can add this to a product that you already sell and offer. Say, like if you sold hair products, or if you sold actually anything. To be honest, let's see.
What's the name of the plugin?
It's called WooCommerce Subscriptions. It's not complicated. It's so you can find it basically. But so, for instance, this coffee place, they offer these sold on an individual basis. But they also offer them on a subscription basis too, so you would get a different coffee every month. For instance, and the same with this mystery chocolate box. You don't know what you're buying. You know it's chocolate though. And you can sign up for 3, 6, or 12 months, and you get a different box of chocolate every month, which I think is really cool, actually.
All right, so let's grab a few questions.
Okay.
And then we'll wrap it up.
I have a quick question about fulfillment. Like,
Uh-huh.
if you want to do all fulfillment of the t-shirts from your garage, is there some kind of company you can reach out to help you?
There's different options. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, we have to. So the question is, he was asking about fulfillment. If there's different companies that you can work with, you can actually work with Amazon fulfillment if you'd like, and they come and pick up your products. And then when people buy from you, they fulfill them for you. But that is not the only option. There are other options out there as well that you can research. But that is probably the most popular one and recognizable as well. So it offers tracking and everything for everybody who buys from you. You?
I have a question.
Okay.
If we're already working with PayPal,
Mm-hmm.
does that integrate with WooCommerce, or do we need to set up another WooCommerce,
Another PayPal account? You can use the question is, if you already have a PayPal account, do you need to start a new one if you want to do this for a store, or can you use the existing one? And the answer is it depends. If you are okay with using your existing one, and if it's a personal one, you want to convert it to a business account, and then you can use it. It'd be the same email attached. Or if you want to keep them separate, then you would sign up for a new one.
okay, and then the benefits such as the USPS shipping, because you don't need to pay for that. It's already included in PayPal. Would you have to purchase the plug-in?
If it's already included with the account that you're using, then no.
Okay.
All right, so we're sort of a little behind schedule.
Sorry.
What we'll do, oh, no, I apologize.
You can put me in the hallway,
Oh, no, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, so
and you can talk to me all you want. I'll be here all day.
at WordCamps, part of the magic is also the conversations in the hallway track.
It's the hallway track, everybody.
So once we're done here, you can talk to her offline outside and get all your questions answered, and we'll get set up for the next session.
Sorry, I thought that was going to go faster. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I gotta go upstairs and do a presentation.